17% of the population or more needs to be this impoverished in order for this thing to work. Otherwise, they're gonna fucking snap real quick and find out this ain't fucking real. You're making shit up. And now, kids, as our global threats become less trustworthy, in that we don't know if they're just making shit up to fight over, apparently, for us and generate more money. You know, if they'd written up a plan for something military and then all of a sudden peace happens, that's like a cure for fucking cancer tomorrow, and you're gonna ever hear about it because that's not gonna wreck the economy. I'm not fucking around either, because it's some simple shit. And you've got a massive, very natural momentum, if not a sway, being deliberately and repeatedly pummeled upon you most of the time. It's probably not necessarily to keep you from finding out so much, it's just to keep you moving in a direction they want to. But there have been, it's cliche to say there have been alternatives to gasoline energy for a long time. You know, rolling fireballs. Doesn't matter. Pumping people out into a business that needs to make up these profits. Your president and all your politicians are businessmen. They're not going to tell you the truth. They're going to tell you the best way to go about business. And you fucking idiots, if nothing else, you just resigned to call them crazy characters, blah blah, not realize eventually you're not supposed to have a president. Eventually you're not supposed to have work. If that becomes a possibility, that you can minimize labor to a point that now you do and shoulder your labor, well then you're out of fucking work. People don't want to fucking hear that, I guarantee you, because there are a lot of people who are out of work right now. And even if it might not throw them into work, to have the truth, the minimization. Even if that doesn't put them in fucking Hardee's for 50 hours a week, and you're supposed to say that's okay in the 20th century, it makes them look like a real fucking asshole. Just, like I said, kids, I'll take some, focus on this. Just one thing. And these motherfuckers who don't deal with monthly bills, they go anywhere they want, they turn around and say they're working on a project, or they're having this drama in their life, which is anything but a family disease, that they can pay for way better. I don't know if it's the direct cause, but that's something that comes up whenever the truth is there for people to see. And then there's some stage production. You're charging? Why are you charging? Particularly with parts. On behalf of your employees, you're doing what's good business. As I said, at least any form of business we've ever seen doesn't long-term have an end game other than continuing to make less fortunate people than others. And that's some pretty fucked up shit for you assholes not to be buckling down on now with the medical advances or disparity, which could come down the pipe pretty soon, You fucking people thinking you need to rally some sentiment of peace and understanding amongst a bunch of fucking people that shouldn't even be here right now. I'm not fucking around with that either. When I say that, I mean it. Somebody could have started this a long time ago. And if you've got 100,000 or 100 million people here right now, guess what? You still got plumbing, you still got electricity, you still got groceries, you've got everything except 7 fucking Hardee's and a bunch of people making a fucking hogwash to sell to you. fucking somebody with $10 million needs to get the fuck out of here. And if they feel the need to continue manipulating servants, people who are at a disadvantage with regards to an element that now exists, which is the thing that not just acquires you shit, it keeps you from having to run away from people. Sick fucking people are gonna have to churn and fight and try and fight. And regardless of whether you think you could actually do anything aside from like a fucking cartoon or something to, some little silver lining bullshit. Well, anyway, like I said, nobody here should run out of $10 million unless they're being a real fucking dipshit. Get the fuck out of here. If you think you need to poke and prod these people some more, then you tell them what the fuck just happened. I used you to generate enough income that I can get the fuck away from you and do what I want. If you want to go on tour again, bitch, you really ought to be buying out fucking corporations and shutting them down with that goddamn profit. That's some fucking bullshit. And if you people want to play stupid to that, of course everybody else is going to. You'll be somewhat in the majority. You might be in a big fucking eating people frenzy someday. Like, seriously, people, you see a lot of brutal stuff go on on TV in parts of the world that is present day. That could be you. Well, man, you people here are not prepared, accustomed, ready for that shit. And you are very, very, very reliant on infrastructure and business itself. Another reason, kids, why this isn't probably something that people want to pop off in one day is if that could happen. However, it's not justification to continue pushing in the other way. And you fucking assholes, we can talk a lot about what causes inflation. $100 million homes don't help. They don't. And for you to be marching around here like we're still, we're Egyptian idiots worshiping a god, and we look back, those people weren't buying it either. They were pissed off. They hated that shit. They were drawing pictures of the queen doing all kinds of funky stuff in their sleeping quarters. The kids, these people, I think, are convinced that man uses man in order to generate infrastructure and float around, and then these little gods and entertainment people come in and, you Christmas tree around them. It's bullshit now. I said it is. Therefore, the truth has been, and it's waiting on your dumbass to keep fucking around people or start addressing the mammal that's here. And the fact that that's the problem. More mammals equals more problems. There's no such thing as job creation. There's fucking idiots and politicians. And mothers. That it's going to be a little bit weird to tell a bunch of people, well, maybe not even in your 40s, you shouldn't be having a kid, because we don't need any more people for something to happen. And the way we've been built, we end up with a shortage. We end up with a call for shortage, for push and pull whenever you just randomly let people in because you got let in. 6 people removed from anybody who ever should have been born for any purpose. And it may actually be one of the worst, most cruel things you could do is to have a child right now, knowing what you do. Will that always be the case? No. I don't pretend this is the fucking Constitution or some shit you're gonna set in stone, as they say, and just never deviate from, even when it makes all the sense in the world. But yeah, you have to address a mammal right now. Like, you have to understand that you've been farmed, you've been compromised, you've been born into compromised positions, and you have an ability as a as an animal to kind of make the most of shit, you know, make the most of a bad situation. Probably in lots of situations where we have a particular race, which is, you know, heavily not up to speed yet, basically a bunch of poor, I can imagine there's a little security in having more of the same people like you around, you know, could possibly influence your big swollen poor people numbers, where there wouldn't be a problem if there weren't a bunch of poor people living there. And as I said, if you ever have any doubt about whether this has to get cut off at some point, just understand that unless a major global event happens which kills a bunch of you and fucks everything up, if you just continue going, you would eventually have quadrillion people on planet Earth. Maybe by then you actually can't not see people every minute of your life, you know, and by then you're used to it. But if you see any problem at all in the world, including sick cancer people who probably could have been, you know, better equipped for what was coming, or not brought into existence, or not have been in this little fucking play game where they don't have access to the same shit you do. That's bullshit. And if you're not addressing that very easy, simple truth, or you're immediately kicking it off to, oh, everybody just wants to have everything, have something for nothing. It's like, listen, bitch, you're on some passive income, you're on some fucking sick mammals, you're overusing a means of distributing weight in order to get some things done that we don't need anything done right now. We really don't. We need some things that currently exist to maintain, like plumbing, electricity. Be nice if we get rid of those wall sockets and cords. But anyways, kids, don't think for a second that well, I'm here whether you need me or not. No, I'm not going back to some, you go to fucking old place and fucking work there now. You do that. You understand? Fucking idiots. But anyways, kids, I just don't want you to feel as though potentially a way of manifesting what I'm saying here, don't feel as though your patronization, because I hear you, I feel you out there. I know when we're busting that bitch all over the fucking wall. Don't feel as though you're encouraging a situation which is, self-consuming or, like I say, I haven't ever wanted a job. That's why I ended up with that one. And the whole time it's just been like, I hate this job. I feel like a fucking loser. I feel like I don't like this job. I'm sick of this car. I don't fucking want to do this. Well, I kept waiting for something to click, kids, where all of a sudden now I feel like doing any of this stuff that sucks. And that didn't happen. But we got this. And it's kind of silly for me to even consider any of the gravity coming in, in the form of unknowns financially and stuff. For me to even acknowledge that shit when knowing it's a lie, and that this right here is about all there is, and if fucking people understood what I'm saying, there wouldn't be the problems that I'm facing, So, anyhow. And ladies, maybe you should talk to each other and confirm your own feelings on this if it's about me having yanked that fucking rug every time you try to stand up. Every time you try to get conceived, I yank that fucking rug. I have eliminated you. And I realize that, and I don't know that you might not or might. But talk amongst yourselves and see if it's just possible. You kind of want the pretty. You kind of want the pretty maid. Take a hike. And you go with something chunky and Mexican. 23:30. Okay. Concision is not actually. Splatter.
Criticize this critical when they get up a concept. Privilege is fulfilled right this moment after running from the law. Maybe it's that low wind smoking with the freestyle. Maybe it's the thought of being on the bottom of the cloud. Styles bound to the skylines, keep them on the sidelines, jumping over my ride. You need to hop up a nova. This ain't no joke. You're gonna drop when I'm slinging it to ya.
He's not too bright. What he does is he patches up the stovepipe.
Yeah.
And so it connects to the chimney where the flue, all that stuff there.
Yeah.
And he's kind of living in this cabin with this stove.
You mean he's still using the stove?
Yeah.
He just extended the pipe?
Yes, that's exactly what he did. He just kind of lowered it down there. And as far as I could tell, though, it doesn't give off any gas or any smoke, no smoke or anything.
He made no attempts to bring it back up to fix the floor and do it right, huh?
No, he didn't.